Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So while most SUVs are busy justifying their existence in the market by giving you more practicality, more cargo space, the 2021 Range Rover Evoque goes for being one of the most attractive cars in that segment. So in today's video, let's explore and find out why this 2021 Range Rover Evoque is one of the most attractive prospective. But before we move on, please consider subscribing to my channel by clicking that subscription button, and also you can see on your screen my channel name. You can go type in and then subscribe, because these reviews are free and there are a lot of reviews, helpful reviews, which you can find out. And if you're planning to buy any car, then yeah, maybe you can watch that. And you can also see my Instagram account. Go follow out there so you can get all the behind the scenes updates of all these cars which I get for the reviews. So the particular model that I am reviewing is the Range Rover Evoque R Dynamic HSE, which is like the top of the line version in the Evoque series. But in the front that you get, it's a very similar looking shape to the Velar that they've recently launched, but still a signature sort of design that they have maintained in terms of the grille design, the Land Rover badging, and also the Range Rover, which is blacked out. This actually looks so much elegant, this look, and you immediately sense that this car is something about luxury when you try to watch it. And there are also these not fake vents but real vents that you will see, and these designs around to give you that extra bit of cooling for the radiators, because this is a twin turbocharged petrol engine that this car has. There's also this another slit out here in the bottom side of this grille, and another meshed grille out here with a camera, and a relatively roundish design in the front. So there are lots of optional extras that have been fitted on this car, which I'll be mentioning as and when we come across. But there's one more bit, which is this on the bonnet. So these inserts that you see, yeah, these are optional extras. And the headlight cluster is an LED headlight cluster, and there are also these DRLs, and then there are sequential turn signals in them. And there is also fog lamp, which is mounted on the side like a strip, and then there is more black plastic at the bottom, and then this bit which looks like a diffuser, but yeah, for some reason has been given in the front, and again that's a gloss black plastic. So the paintwork that you see on this Range Rover Evoque is an optional paint, which is called as the Seoul Pearl Silver, along with this optional black roof. And there are also these black bits which are again optional extras, and then you will find these massive 21-inch gloss black rims and huge brake disc calipers. And the bottom again you would find this black color trim at the bottom, and then there is an R Dynamic badging to tell you that this is an R Dynamic car. And then these are again blacked out side mirrors, which are power foldable, they are power adjustable, they also have a LED turn signal in them, and there is also one of the cameras from the 360-degree camera system. These door handles are keyless entry door handles, but they are these famous motorized door handles, and they flush onto the side body. When they were released first from the Range Rover's lineup, they were actually a rage, and then pretty much everyone sort of got along that train. So you also get the R Dynamic badging on the door sills. And there is also one more thing, which is there is like a light that illuminates at night, showing the Range Rover Evoque's logo, which is an LED bright light. You may actually get confused with the Velar, and that is justifiable, because yeah, the shape is pretty similar to the Velar, because the only change that you would really notice is this length, which is a little short compared to the Velar. But otherwise, yeah, very similar looking profile. And there are these tail lights that extend and flush out into the side profile. Even the headlights, they were nicely flushed into the front body. And overall the length of the car is pretty small, as is the Evoque, but the Evoque has become slightly longer than the previous version, which shows the fact that this is not just the old Evoque, but is actually a newly designed Evoque on a new platform. Now the rear end on the previous generation of the Evoque used to look a little cluttered, but in this one it looks absolutely beautiful. That this whole area around out here, basically the entire rear view. And when you look at the rear and the front view, they look like they are squinting like this, and these are like the LED tail light cluster, and again they also have the sequential turn signals inside them, and there is also this 3D hologram effect inside the lights, so as to create that 3D effect. And then this blacked out Range Rover badging out here, again this is an optional extra, and this again extra optional extra of this gloss plastic bit. Again, I wouldn't complain because this looks very gorgeous on this. Now when it comes to the visibility, because the roof line is actually very sloping in an Evoque, like when you see it from the side profile, the roof line like really goes down in the back, and which is why the visibility is quite limited. And plus, if you have a lot of cargo stuffed inside in the back, or if you have all the 3 passengers, then you know your view is completely blocked. But thank God, because Range Rover has thought about that. So on this fin on top that you see, there is a camera mounted, which is for the clear sight rear view mirror. Now what happens is, in your rear view mirror there is a button. When you flick it, you can actually see this camera activated, and then you can get a clear visibility of the traffic from the back. And this is absolutely my favorite feature, and it's so smooth, it's so crisp, and even at night it just shows you clear bit of details. And also you can adjust the angle of it just like you would on a normal mirror, and also you can adjust the brightness of it. So yeah, it's actually a very neat feature, and yeah, which is why if there's any visibility issues, that is solved by that. Now when it comes to the boot space, you can even swipe your leg and open the boot. And in this current setting, you can put 420 liters of luggage out here. It's actually not the biggest space that you will find in this segment. In fact, this is actually the smallest one that you will find in terms of the boot space. And when you remove this parcel shelf, you can put 575 liters because you get that increased bit of height. You can also remove this separator from here, and you can put it down out here. And also there is a slot given out here where there are these aluminum scruff plates so that you don't damage your bumper, and also another black trim out here near the bumper, all to protect the paintwork. When you put this boot separator down, it actually matches with this scruff plate, so that you know when you're putting luggage, you can just have a flat floor. So yeah, even that has been thought about. So these rear seats are foldable in a ratio of 40:20:40, so you can fold down the middle seat to put that longer cargo space, like you know your skis or your golf bags or anything, you can put that. And you can also drop the main seats from here. Although the thing is that these seats, yeah, they don't fall down completely, so there is still a bit of an angle, which is why you wouldn't be able to slide longer objects till the back. But in this current setting, you can put like 1445 liters of boot space. And also there is a spare wheel which has been mounted at the on the boot floor, and there are also more hook points out here for your shopping bags. There are also boot lights out here. The boot height is actually fairly low, so you can easily pick up the luggage and also put them down. There is not much of a lip out here. Well, Land Rover sure knows how to make inviting interiors and also attractive when it comes to its design and the choice of material, because look at this cabin, it's just plush, and this is supposed to be a small SUV and daily driver, but yeah, there is no compromise when it comes to any of the features or any of the quality. So when it comes to the actual quality of materials, you get soft touch leather covered dashboard out here with this wine red leather out here, and also there is this plastic again which is soft touch dashboard, but it's so soft, like yeah, even on the door cards out here on the sides, again wine red leather covered door cards, and then they have this sort of aluminum inserts in them and also glossy plastic. But yeah, very well done. And you know, when you rest your hand or wherever you rest any of your body parts, it's all going to be like in comfort. And there's just one place out here where they've used like normal plastic, and out here they've not done any padding. So you know, when you're resting your leg, like you can see out here, yeah, it's on the hard surface. So yeah, like a little bit of padding, yeah, would look, you know, it would be a little comfortable. And you get again the aluminum, you know, out here, and then gloss plastic on the screens around that, and a lot of chrome surround that you will find around the steering and on the dashboard. And there is also this suede material on the pillar and also on the roof. So in terms of the choice of material, yeah, there is no question, they've just given the usual Range Rover quality that you will find even on this Evoque. And in the center you will find a 12.3-inch screen that shows you two dials on both the sides, and in the center there is a bit of information that you will see, not a bit actually, but a lot of information, like your trip. At the bottom you will see, like how well you are driving and your trip usual information, the date and everything. And in the center there is this big screen which is controlled from the left hand side using a menu control button. So that button, I'll be coming to that. So like a two-way button, you can use the infotainment and also the screen. So when you press the menu button, you can change your displays, you can change your trip information, you can get the driver assistance and then switch any particular option on and off. And then you can also see the media, the vehicle info, then there is a vehicle settings, all of that. And then there is also the heads up display that you will see out here, and then you can control that heads up display also, which is pretty crystal clear, and then it will show you all the content, like the driver assistance, navigation, gear state and your phone, and then you can choose to have whichever option you want to see. Now when it comes to the steering wheel, this is nice and big leather covered steering wheel, and in the center you would find the Range Rover badging, and also this leather wine red color which has been given in the center also, but it is quite easy and grippy to hold. And this also got the paddle shifters in the back, and on the right side you will find the controls for your adaptive cruise control and the speed limiter, and also if you want to switch on the lane keep assist, which is a feature which is, if you want to switch it on and off, there's a button given out here. And on the left side you will find the controls for your infotainment system. This is like a touch button also, so you can, it's like a swivel button. There is also the menu option, so you can click on that and you can go into the multi information display for the driver that you can change from here, and also the communication controls that are given out here. And then this steering wheel is electronically adjustable. The best bit about the driving position in this Evoque, or even in fact the Range Rover, is that it's got so many different varieties of settings and combinations that you can adjust. And similarly this steering wheel, which is again tilt and telescopic, which is electronically adjustable. Now when it comes to the air conditioning controls, there are two big dials given on both the sides for your temperature and also the fan speed, but the main controls are actually given in this touch screen out here. And if you are following me for a long time, you know that I'm not really a fan of these touch screen controls, because let's say I am driving the car right now and I want to change a setting, so I actually have to look down and then change the settings for the air conditioning, or actually find first. So yeah, it gets a bit of a distraction out here. And it's not just that, because the screen can act for even the vehicle settings, like if you want to change the drive modes and all of that, you can change that from here also. So it's a combined screen out here. So on the screen itself you will find your controls for switching off the AC, the flow of air, and the dual zone air conditioning system that has been given out here. And also if you want to change the fan speed, you have to click on the fan button, and then this dial on the left side converts into the fan dial now to control the fan speed. And then when you switch it off again, deactivate again, it switches to the temperature control. So yeah, lots of things are happening out here. When it comes to the actual infotainment screen, this is a 10-inch PV Pro infotainment system, and this is actually a tiltable screen. So you just have to go into the settings, and straightforward there is a screen angle button, and then you press the minus or the plus and you can adjust the screen. And then when you don't want to use it, or when you switch off the car, it actually flushes into the body. So that looks pretty cool. And when you want to use it, it will automatically, when you start the car, it will come up, but you can adjust the angle. And the actual infotainment screen is quite alright, I would say, although it lags a little bit, and it's not really the most snappiest screen experience that you will find, but nonetheless it's still a positive try from Range Rover, and it is constantly improving. So you also have the navigation option in here, and then you can change everything from here. Then you have the home buttons. At the bottom you will find all the shortcut buttons for your home, your settings, your navigation, phone, your media, your Bluetooth, and also the camera, and also the parking. And also on the main screen you will find all these widgets, and then when you swipe you will find more options for your connectivity, cameras again. And when it comes to actual connectivity, you can connect to this infotainment system using Bluetooth, USB. There's also Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and also there's something called as valet mode, which will lock all the features on your screen, and then just keep the basic features on. So you get 15 speaker Meridian surround sound system on this one, and then you can change all the sound settings from here. But have a listen to this system because it sounds absolutely fabulous. Now continuing with this infotainment screen, then you find more settings in here, and then you can change every single detail in this one, and also you can change the mood lightings that have been given all around in the car. And this entire setup is also available in the Velar, so you can click on the pop-up banner out here, and I did a detailed review of that Range Rover Velar also, so yeah, click on here and you can watch that also. Now when it comes to the storage, you can put like 1 liter worth of bottle in the door cards, on both the door cards in the front. There are 2 cup holders out here, and then these cup holders are actually, they have a cover for them that was given out here in the dashboard. So here's the one, like a tray, and then you can cover it using that, and if you don't want to, you can remove it and put it in the glove box. And then there is also this glove box which is covered using this velvet type of material, and there is also another storage out here at the bottom that you see, but this is kind of a hidden storage, so if you put your phones and all, they're going to be away, and then you will have to sort of like find your stuff out here when you put it. And then there are these 2-door center armrest. Again, they are leather covered and soft touch, and when you open them, you can put like again 1 liter worth of bottle inside it, or 2 half a liter, or in fact 3 half a liter bottles. And in the back and in the rear door cards, you can put like half a liter worth of bottle. One more thing which I forgot to mention was that there's also a dial, volume dial, which has been given between these 2 air conditioning dials, which is to control the sound on this infotainment system. But that dial is actually in the way of the gear lever, so when you try to use it, it's like right in the center. So when you're driving, it's usually like this. That is like the most easiest way to do, but if you're just going to be using it directly, this gear lever comes in the way. When it comes to the charging or the connectivity, you will find more USB plugs in this car than the actual number of passengers that this car can fit. So you will get 2 USB plugs out here in the center armrest, and also there is a 12-volt power socket. And in the back on both these driver and the passenger seats, you will find a 12-volt power socket on both the seats, and also 2 USB plugs in that also. And at the bottom again, you will find 2 USB plugs and 1 12-volt power socket. There is also another 12-volt power socket given near the cup holders. On this Range Rover Evoque, you get a panoramic sunroof, which also has this fading effect, so during normal day the sunlight doesn't penetrate into the car, but it just makes it look very airy. When it comes to these seats, these are again wine red and black color leather, and also the suede material that they have used on the sides. These are perforated seats, but they are absolutely comfortable. Like, these are one of the finest seats that I have sat in. Like, during like on a normal drive, or when the roads are uncomfortable or bumpy, these seats actually give you so much of cushion, and also they have a lot of extension at the bottom for your thighs for an extra bit of support. And the driver side and the passenger side seat both are 16-way electronically adjustable, and not even that, these side bolsters, they can be adjusted too. Like, you can make them shrink, or you can make them broad if someone broader than me is sitting. So there are lots of possibilities that you can do with these seats. Now in the back, things are a little different and a little cramped when you compare it to the space that was available in the front, but there is still slight amount of knee room that you will see out here. And because I've pushed these seats a little bit ahead so that I can just get in and show you the various amounts of space that is still available. So yeah, in this setting you will find like a little bit of knee room out here, and also the headroom, because there is a panoramic sunroof that you see out here, which is why it gives me that extra bit of head space out here. And because again I mentioned that the car is sloping from the rear end, and which is why in order to give you more space for the rear passengers, these seats are mounted a little on the lower side, and which is why you see me that my legs are at a bit of an angle out here. And also there's not much space underneath the seats where if you want to stretch your legs during the longer journey. But still, the best bit is that there's not much of a tunnel out here in the center, so when you sit in the middle, these seats still provide for the middle passenger a fair bit of comfort, although the backrest is a little hard, but yeah, nonetheless there's still space because of not being a big tunnel out here. And the seats are wine red and black color leather seats which are perforated, and also there is this armrest which has been given, and there are these two flexible cup holders out here, and these cup holders are a little bit in the way, so when you're kind of resting your hands, this cup holder may come in the way. There are like cups. The door cards, again, they are soft touch and leather covered door cards, so the same level of quality also is maintained in the back. There are also two air conditioning vents which are given, the airflow of which you can just control using the dials. Now when I picked up this car, I did not realize that this was a micro hybrid car. So this particular Evoque R Dynamic HSE comes with a 2-liter 4-cylinder inline petrol engine, which is a twin turbocharged, that produces 296 brake horsepower or 300 PS, and which is why you would find the P300 badging. So if the it's a petrol engine, then it's P; if it's a diesel, then it's a D, and then the 300 denotes the power, and it produces 400 Newton meters of torque. The engine is actually pretty smooth. It's just like, here's the thing, when you want to just accelerate gently, it does very well. It picks up very, very well. But the thing is, when you want a sudden power demand, let me show you what happens is you floor, it takes a little while to guess, and then all of a sudden there is like a burst of power, and then the RPMs just shoot across the red line, and then it just starts doing all of that stuff. But this engine is also mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission, so there is a lot of gear changes that is going on all the time, pretty much all the time. And also there's one annoying feature, and that is the start stop feature in this one. And what happens is, when you are kind of slowing down in a signal or in a slow traffic, and if you just fall below 15 kilometers per hour, the car just switches off, because it's the auto start cutoff feature that it has. But yeah, because it just tends to switch off, and then I have to press the accelerator, so it will again accelerate. But then there's a huge jerk when the car again comes back to life. But yeah, you can simply just switch off the auto start stop feature, and then that problem is solved. But when it comes to the actual transmission completely, it's a fabulous package. There's also paddle shifters out here, and yeah, they do their job quite well. Now there must be one more question that you will have, that will this car be able to do off-roading? Simple answer, yes, it will be able to do light off-roading, but let's be honest, it's 21-inch rims. Those are black ones, and I don't want to damage them, otherwise I would have really loved to show you all, but I still did somewhat. But yeah, it was pretty light, that is. But I know for a fact that this will be able to do the off-roading bits that you want. And also there are special modes that are given where you can switch on the dynamic mode when you're on road. There's eco mode, there's comfort mode, there's also sand mode, there's also the dirt or the rocky mode. Then you can raise the height of the suspension, and also there's an auto mode in which you can leave. There's also a terrain response system in which you can actually launch your car from a low torque setting. So if I just press it on the screen, and then there is a low traction launch, and also there's a drive assist. Now this car has a varying depth of 600 millimeters, so And also in the drive assist, you can actually see the what is in front at the bottom of the car, and also you can even see on the two views of the car from the side, you can see both of that. It manages to give a fuel economy of anywhere between 8 to 9 kilometers. At best you will get 9.5 kilometers per liter on a long run. The steering on this is absolutely fine. I really like it, but the thing is, it just lacks sometimes that feedback from the system, because it feels a little artificial, because it's an electronic steering, and I sometimes miss the sort of feedback, you know, that you want from a steering wheel. Although I get the fact that this is made for more comfortable ride, and which is why it's kind of relaxing that way. I get, and I like it because it is relaxing, because you don't have to work really hard. And when it comes to the suspension, these are adaptive suspensions, and there's still fair bit of roll which I find in the corners, like slight amount of roll, but the ride quality is pretty brilliant. Like, it's so comfortable, like, you know, it's just like cruising along without any obvious, you know, if there are any bumps, nothing can deter it, because there is nothing that can, you know, sort of unbalance the ride or the comfort levels inside. Now, Land Rovers are one of the best when it comes to the driving position, and this Evoque is no guess to that, because it's got one of the finest driving positions. Like, you know, there is, when you sit in it, you feel like there's a commanding position, there is a clear visibility all around, and plus these comfortable seats. Yeah, you're cocooned in that, and you're just driving in like luxury, and also it can do off-road when you want it to. Now, when it comes to the noise inside the interior, again, that is also managed very well, because everything has been very well taken care of. There is not any noise that you would hear from outside, even at higher speeds. You're actually like cruising along quite comfortably. There is no wind whooshing, there is no unwelcome sound that you would want inside the cabin, so they managed to block all of it very well. Now, when it comes to the safety systems, you get 6 airbags, 2 for the driver and the passenger front ones, 2 side airbags for the driver and the passenger, 2 curtain airbags mounted in the frame, and there is also child isofix points in both the rear seats, and also there is a fabulous 360-degree camera system. Again, that is one of my favorite feature on this Evoque, because those cameras work flawless, you know, and you can select all the different angles that you want to see. And not just that, like, you can just view, and at any point of time, if you want to view the cameras, you can switch on and you can get a view of the front or the side, whichever view you want to. There's also lane keep assist, there's also lane departure warning, there's also hill descent control, there's also ABS, there's also roll stability control, there is also EBD. There are numerous safety systems that make sure, you know, the car is always well behaved and safe when you're driving in. And there's also something called as the clear exit alert. So what happens is, there are also the signs or the warnings on the door cards. So whenever there is a vehicle approaching and you are about to open the door, it would actually warn you on that door not to open it, so that, you know, yeah, you just save from damaging those expensive doors. Now, when it comes to the brakes, you get 4 disc brakes on this one. Let me demonstrate you by doing a full emergency stop from 80 kilometers. Yeah, there's also an emergency stop signal. Wow, that was pretty hard. So yeah, this car will stop, and that is pretty reassuring. And when it comes to the pricing, so this particular Evoque R Dynamic HSE starts with all these options, comes in at 318,000 dirhams. And if you just want the stock one, the without any optional extras, it would cost you somewhere around 245,000 dirhams. And the base model of this Evoque starts from 173,000 dirhams. Now, let's keep the option aside for a while. The thing is, Range Rovers are something which has a lot of brand value, you know, and you're going to be really enjoying sat in here, cocooned in the luxurious materials, in the quietness, in this, you know, sort of grand occasion when you enter in and you're like driving. Pick up any Range Rovers and they are just very well tailored for driving experience. You know, they are comfortable, and they are also, let's be honest, able to do off-roading. And maybe if you sometimes wish to go, you can go, but not with these 21-inch. Please don't damage those black ones. And let's be honest, you buy a Range Rover because you want to be seen in a Range Rover, and that for a fact this car will do that very well. Anyways, that is pretty much it for this video. Give this video a thumbs up, and please make sure to subscribe to my channel by clicking here, and also leave all the notifications on, and also you can watch more videos from this link below. Anyways, I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye and take care.